But first, I want to go to what Mark's Cards and I discussed last night. Was that it isn't so much that comedy is like the comedy thing that we were discussing earlier. I was discussing earlier on Halloween about comedy being like blunt and like to just show the phallic flashlight or whatnot. It's more than that. Comedy has evolved past that. In the '90s, it was like that. It was like, oh look, I'm gonna show this guy fumbling around with his bagel and acting weird and like, oh, it sucks to work in an office or something, or it sucks to work at Great America or something. But it's like nowadays, as Mark's Cards was saying to me, that the humor is more mean spirited and sarcastic now, because for 8 years we had kind of a sucky political administration. Everybody's kind of angry about it, so the humor is more angry and angsty. So you got like this weird, like dark, like emo sort of humor going on. Um, like, look at this oppressed character who's a mall cop, and he's like acting evil half the time, but it turns out he's just mental, or he's acting crazy half the other time. And, okay, that's funny, or you know, like, okay, now I got to think of a sarcastic comedy movie. I guess Adventureland. That was sarcastic, certainly, with the guy that was really channeling Michael Cera. It wasn't. It was Eisenman or something. Yeah, so it's okay. And not Paul Blart Mall Cop, but Observe and Report. Pineapple Express, very sarcastic. Knocked Up, just sarcasm, certainly. Step Brothers, very sarcastic. Sort of puerile kind of thing. Stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, sarcastic humor is more of the day, and certainly the Kal Kat show was always doing that. Now it's online. So trying to balance this without a camera. Mark's Card said, get a cameraman. Do all your sketch with cameras. That was part of the problem with doing the KATS movie. We wrote a script in 2003 that was going to be this elaborate sort of origin story / modern story where we were these failed like comedic actors that came out of hiding because we were just like barely out of high school when we did our heyday, and we kind of we were kind of incapable of doing anything other than 80s stuff and doing Disney sketches and parodies of songs and things, and that's pretty much it. And we were like out there doing these sketches and stuff. And of course, Disney movies kind of fell by the wayside in 94 or 95. Let me start that again. And of course, Disney sketches, because the movie stopped doing musicals after really, pretty much Tarzan, but it was a little before that. It was with the one with the Greeks, the Hercules one. They stopped doing it. And that was terrible. Hercules was really bad. The cartoon, not the Xena show, the cartoon. Disney movies, Disney cartoons, and they were doing these show tunes kind of things, which was like, okay, that's cool. And Alan Menken was great, the composer, but he died. I think he died. Yeah, and he stopped doing them, or because he died. So they just stopped doing those, and ever since then, it's been like, okay, we can't do Disney parodies like Pocahontas or new ones like The Frog Prince that's coming out, because it's not going to be like that. It's not going to have musical songs to make slam poetry parodies out of. So, and we threw all of these old, or at least I did, threw all these old Disney, all the old stuff from the 80s in it, interspersed with some 90s stuff and some late 90s stuff. Including a sketch about All in the Family, a sketch about Tweety Bird and whatever. Lots of other people. The two mincingly gay, homoerotic guys Peaches and Pebbles. They were in there from Deadly Hour, and they had a big part actually. They got everything back together because they're into they can handle like setting up choreographing. Yeah, hell, that's not homophobic. Oh, so, um, so we didn't do that. And Mark's Cards was saying last night, well, one of the main reasons we didn't do that is because your script was so ambitious. It literally is a movie, and it would cost like $1 million or so, and we don't have a cast. We don't have a crew and all that stuff. We can't do a motion picture like an art house style motion picture. Even if we had $1,000, we couldn't pay anybody. We couldn't pay a crew or a cast. So we're just gonna have to do something else. So we decided on this whole internet YouTube thing like a year ago, and we've been testing the waters, and now this is it. So the Kal Kat show, and we can pull this off because this doesn't require a cast. You can be like this total uber dork nerd in his attic somewhere doing comedy sketches. So anyway, that's it on that train of thought, and that ought to be added to the movie somewhere.